The cosmic order is shifting. The sun's entry into Aquarius is not just a seasonal transition. It is a code-breaking moment in consciousness. Old structures are fracturing, timelines are realigning, and a new current of energy is sweeping through the collective field. This is not about subtle change. It's a reset, a force that disrupts outdated paradigms and awakens the mind to a higher directive. The Aquarian portal is not gentle. It is electric, activating, and uncompromising in its demand for truth. Those who resist will feel the weight of stagnation. Those who align will experience a recalibration of purpose, clarity, and expansion. A new spiritual directive is emerging. The question is not whether the shift is happening. The question is whether you are ready to embody it. Affirm it by commenting, "I am ready." But before we go deeper, I have an important request. Our spiritual messages have encountered obstacles in reaching those who need them, and your support makes a real difference. By liking this video and subscribing to the channel, you're not just engaging, you're actively helping to expand this awakening, ensuring more souls receive these transformative insights. Let's step into this energy together. The sun's geometric shift. Why Aquarius holds a unique frequency. The sun's shift into Aquarius is not just a seasonal transition. It is a realignment of unseen forces that shape thought, perception, and energetic flow. Each zodiac sign carries a specific energetic blueprint, and Aquarius holds one of the most distinctive among them. Governed by the fixed air modality, it possesses a stabilizing yet expansive quality, much like a current of wind that maintains its direction despite external turbulence. This stability in motion allows consciousness to settle into new patterns without being scattered, providing a foundation for deeper awareness and visionary thinking. The nature of air as an element is often associated with movement, change, and fluidity, but fixed air behaves differently. It is structured, forming an invisible framework within the mind and energy field. Imagine a network of unseen lines crisscrossing through space, forming a grid that holds new information in place. These energetic lines serve as conduits for higher thought, much like electrical circuits carrying signals across a vast system. As the sun activates this energy, it strengthens these circuits, allowing for the reception of more complex and multidimensional insights. Thoughts that once drifted aimlessly now find coherence, forming patterns that unlock new perspectives and solutions. This shift in frequency is not just a subtle mental adjustment, it is an energetic recoding at a deep level. In the same way that software updates remove outdated functions and install improved systems, Aquarius brings an infusion of new crystalline light codes that rewrite the way energy moves through consciousness. These codes operate beyond the physical, influencing the neural pathways in the brain and the electromagnetic field surrounding the body. The result is an increased capacity for abstract thinking, sudden realizations, and a heightened ability to perceive underlying structures in what once seemed chaotic. The transmission of these new energetic patterns often feels like a sudden spark of awareness, as if a veil has been lifted to reveal a hidden design. Ideas that once seemed disconnected now merge effortlessly, forming intricate mosaics of meaning. This is the power of Aquarius. It does not simply bring new thoughts, it arranges them into higher-order structures, much like a master architect designing a blueprint that accounts for both function and innovation. This is why many people experience flashes of insight, unconventional ideas, or an urge to break free from limiting mental constructs during this time. The mind is no longer constrained by the rigid walls of outdated beliefs. Instead, it begins to function in a more fluid yet structured way, adapting to new possibilities. At its core, this transformation is about realigning thought patterns with a broader, more interconnected vision. When the sun moves through Aquarius, the focus shifts from individual perception to collective intelligence. This energy encourages a form of thinking that is not bound by personal experience alone, but extends into the realms of universal consciousness. The barriers between personal insights and collective evolution begin to dissolve, allowing for a greater exchange of knowledge and a deeper understanding of how everything fits into a larger cosmic pattern. This is why Aquarius has long been associated with progressive ideas, technological advancements, and revolutionary shifts. It is an energy that rearranges reality at the most fundamental levels, preparing the mind for the next stage of its expansion, the collapse of linear time. The Aquarian energy is like a river that flows freely, unconstrained by the rigid banks of time. Where linear time is often experienced as a straight line, past leading to present, which leads to future, Aquarius introduces the sensation of time moving more like a flowing stream, where the boundaries between moments blur. This shift is not just perceptual, it restructures how we experience our connection to time. It's as though the walls we've placed between past, present, and future are beginning to soften, making the flow of time feel much more like a wave that moves in multiple directions at once, carrying memories, expectations, and experiences across a fluid continuum. Aquarius is inherently tied to non-linear perception, a state where the usual rules of cause and effect seem less rigid, and moments don't always unfold in a predictable manner. The movement of the sun into Aquarius stirs this hidden potential within us. Under its influence, time feels more like a tapestry woven with threads of past, present, and future, all intermingling in ways that can feel disorienting at first. We might suddenly feel as though a memory from years ago is resurfacing with vivid clarity, only to realize it's somehow connected to something we've just experienced in the present. Or perhaps an event we've been anticipating for the future seems to happen almost as if it had already occurred. The experience is akin to reading a book where the chapters are no longer in order, and yet the story continues to make perfect sense in a way we had never imagined. As a result of Aquarius's influence, synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that seem to align without explanation, become far more pronounced. These moments where the universe seems to nudge us with timely signs increase dramatically. It's as if the universe has unlocked a hidden level in the game of life, where patterns and connections are easier to spot, yet harder to explain. These synchronistic events are not random. They are the universe's way of showing us how closely intertwined our lives are with the invisible forces of time and energy. What we once considered accidents or fleeting moments are now stepping stones toward greater understanding. These synchronicities act as guides, pointing us towards something we may not yet fully comprehend, but which feels deeply significant. At the same time, time distortions become more noticeable. Imagine trying to measure a fluid object with a ruler. It would be impossible because it doesn't fit into the rigid measurement. Time, under the influence of Aquarius, begins to feel similarly ungraspable. Many report sensations of time speeding up, especially during moments of intense activity or reflection. What once took days or weeks can seem to unfold in hours. Alternatively, there are moments when time seems to stretch endlessly, as if it's suspended, offering a sense of eternity in a fleeting instant. This is a symptom of the restructuring of reality that Aquarius brings. When time itself becomes less predictable, It opens up the potential for experiences that feel both incredibly urgent and timeless at the same time. This collapse of linear time doesn't just affect the way we experience future events, it also allows for the unraveling of the past. It's as though the Aquarian energy is encouraging us to see the interconnectedness of all moments in our lives. We may find ourselves suddenly revisiting old wounds or memories that were long buried. These memories don't come back in the traditional sense, like old photographs. They appear more like pieces of a puzzle, falling into place to reveal a greater truth about our personal journeys. What might have seemed like a random event or a painful chapter in the past now becomes part of a broader pattern, one that shows us the growth or lessons we have yet to fully recognize. This phenomenon is part of karmic collapse, where old cycles that have kept us stuck in repetitive patterns now dissolve, giving us the chance to move forward without the weight of unresolved past experiences. The instant manifestation aspect of Aquarius also plays a significant role in this restructuring. With the collapse of linear time, what we focus on today can begin to show up in our reality with incredible speed. The things we want, whether they are material, emotional, or spiritual, start to align with us more effortlessly. It's as if the distance between intention and outcome has shortened, and the universe is responding almost immediately to the frequencies we emit. However, this also brings with it a level of responsibility. Since thoughts and intentions carry such weight, we are more accountable than ever for what we focus on. The energy of Aquarius invites us to become mindful of our thought patterns, for they shape the realities we manifest almost instantly. One of the most profound effects of this collapse is how it forces us to reconsider how we navigate our lives. The more we become aware of the fluidity of time and the deeper interconnections of past, present, and future, the more we are called to live consciously in the present moment. The days of simply moving from one task to the next without awareness are fading, as the energy of Aquarius encourages us to become more attuned to the currents of the universe. Every choice, every thought, and every action becomes part of a larger, ever-unfolding pattern. And as we learn to trust the flow of synchronicity and the collapsing walls of time, we can find ourselves moving through life with greater ease, clarity, and purpose. The forgotten power of the etheric body. The etheric body is often overlooked, yet it plays a crucial role in our spiritual and physical experience. It is the invisible bridge that connects our soul, which resides in the realm of spirit, to our physical body, which exists in the material world. If you think of the etheric body as a soft, glowing light surrounding your physical form, it acts as a conduit through which spiritual energy flows into the material realm. Like a wire carrying electricity from a power source to a device, the etheric body channels spiritual energy, helping us to navigate the physical world with the guidance and wisdom of our higher self. Aquarius, with its strong connection to innovation and higher frequencies, catalyzes a shift that begins in the subtle energy fields of the body. As the Aquarian energy floods the planet, it brings with it a unique potential for recalibration. Just as a tuning fork resonates with a particular note and helps align instruments in harmony, the Aquarian influx acts like a cosmic tuning tool for our etheric body, helping it align with new, more expanded frequencies. This alignment allows the flow of energy to become more fluid, open, and receptive to higher levels of information. The effects of this process may be subtle at first, but over time, they can become palpable and undeniable. Many people experience sudden, unexplained energetic surges during this time, like an electrical charge running through the body. These surges may manifest as sensations of warmth, tingling, or even feelings of being charged up, as if the body itself is being upgraded. This can feel like a wave of energy sweeping through you unexpectedly, much like when the wind gusts suddenly while walking through an open field. The energetic shift causes you to feel more alive, alert, and aware, but it can also bring about discomfort if the etheric body is not yet adjusted to the higher frequencies being introduced. These surges of energy are often signs that the body is recalibrating itself, adapting to new energetic inputs and learning to channel these frequencies in a balanced way. As the etheric body aligns with new energies, some individuals may experience spontaneous downloads, sudden bursts of inspiration, knowledge, or understanding that seem to come out of nowhere. It's as if the mind is receiving information directly from a higher source, much like how a radio picks up signals transmitted through the air. These downloads can arrive in the form of ideas, insights, or intuitive nudges that carry deep wisdom and clarity. In the same way that a person might instinctively know how to fix something without having been formally trained, these downloads open up possibilities for deeper spiritual awareness, often leading to profound realizations or sudden awakenings. These downloads can also cause a sense of unfamiliarity or confusion, as they may bypass the usual ways in which we process information. Just as a plant reaches for sunlight, the etheric body extends itself to absorb the new energies, and sometimes this process can feel disorienting. It is akin to learning a new language, one that your soul recognizes, but your conscious mind has not yet fully grasped. This shift is a sign of progress, a necessary recalibration that allows the body and soul to interact in ways they have not been able to before. It is not an immediate process. It happens gradually, much like the slow growth of a tree's roots as they push deep into the earth, expanding their reach and connection to the soil. Another common experience during this shift is the perception of unfamiliar vibrations in the body. These sensations may feel like subtle, yet intense, waves of energy moving through the cells and tissues. It's as if your body is becoming more sensitive to the energies around you, much like a radio dial being turned, tuning into different frequencies. This can result in sensations that are both unfamiliar and unsettling, especially for those who have not consciously worked with their energy bodies. For example, you might feel like your hands or feet are vibrating, or that your heart beats in sync with the rhythm of the universe. These vibrations are a direct reflection of the etheric body adjusting to the higher frequencies being activated by Aquarius. This shift is often accompanied by a deep sense of recalibration. As the etheric body adapts to the new energetic environment, old imbalances, blockages, and limitations begin to surface. Think of it as an old computer that needs an update to run more efficiently. Sometimes during this process, the body experiences glitches, feelings of fatigue, discomfort, or even emotional release, as the outdated programs are deleted and replaced with more advanced software. The recalibration process doesn't happen overnight, and some individuals may experience these energetic shifts more intensely than others. However, this is a sign that the etheric body is adapting and preparing to operate at a higher capacity. The human energy field, which is closely linked to the etheric body, responds to these shifts by adjusting its vibration. Imagine the energy field as a web of interconnected threads, each one vibrating at different frequencies. As the Aquarian energies influence this field, the web begins to hum at a higher frequency, vibrating faster and more harmoniously. This change allows for a smoother flow of spiritual energy into the physical body, enabling the person to experience more clarity, alignment, and peace. It's a process of energetic expansion, where the energy field grows stronger, more balanced, and more attuned to the universal forces at play. The sudden awakening effect. The energy of Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, is inherently dynamic and unpredictable. Uranus is the planet of shock, sudden revelations, and breakthroughs, and when it exerts its influence, things change quickly and radically. It's like a sudden jolt of electricity that wakes up a dormant system, activating a series of reactions that can feel both disorienting and enlightening. This powerful energy doesn't always allow for a gradual shift. Instead, it can feel like a wave of awakening that hits all at once, shaking up established patterns and beliefs. For some, this shift will arrive as a complete mental awakening, an instant understanding or realization that suddenly makes everything click into place. It's as if the mind, once clouded or foggy, suddenly clears, revealing an entirely new perspective on life and the universe. These rapid changes can feel akin to flipping a switch in a dark room, where everything you thought you knew about your environment is suddenly illuminated. What was once hidden, in shadows, whether it's a truth you were unaware of or a potential you hadn't considered, can now be seen clearly. This can be astonishing because the shift happens unexpectedly, often when you least expect it. It might feel as though one moment you are in one state of mind, and the next you are in an entirely different one, much like a sudden thunderstorm that takes you by surprise with its intensity. This is the Uranian energy at work, shaking things up, breaking down old walls, and revealing new truths. As these revelations emerge, they often bring to light hidden truths that have been buried deep within. These could be suppressed memories, unresolved emotions, or past experiences that were previously out of reach. Under normal circumstances, these truths might remain hidden, locked away in the recesses of the subconscious. But Aquarius and Uranus have a way of pulling them to the surface, often with little warning. It's like a dam breaking open, releasing a flood of information that was once contained. The intensity of this process can be overwhelming for some, as they find themselves suddenly facing things they may have long avoided or forgotten. This unearthing of hidden truths isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it feels as if the truth has been buried for a reason, and its sudden resurfacing brings up feelings of discomfort or confusion. But it is a crucial part of the awakening process. The energy of Aquarius pushes us to move beyond old patterns, to step into a new way of being. It demands that we face what has been hidden so we can integrate and grow from it. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion. Though the process may cause tears, each layer reveals something essential beneath the surface. Along with these hidden truths, this powerful shift often uncovers unexplored potentials that were previously dormant. These are the aspects of ourselves that we may have overlooked or suppressed, thinking they were inaccessible or irrelevant. Aquarius, with its expansive and forward-thinking energy, urges us to recognize and explore these untapped potentials. It's as if a door that has been closed for years suddenly swings open, revealing a whole new room of possibilities that were always there but hidden from view. For some, this could mean discovering latent talents or abilities that have long been waiting to be expressed. Others might find that their purpose or direction in life becomes crystal clear, guiding them toward a path that feels more aligned with their true nature. This process of revelation often demands integration. As the sudden truths and potentials emerge, there is a need to process them and make sense of them in the context of one's life. It's as though You've been given a new set of instructions for how to operate, but it takes time to understand and apply them fully. Integration isn't an instantaneous process. It's a journey of absorbing the new information and adjusting to the shift in consciousness. This may involve reframing past experiences, releasing old belief systems, or making conscious changes in behavior. Just as a puzzle comes together piece by piece, so too does the process of making sense of these new revelations. The energy of Aquarius encourages this restructuring of the self, supporting the release of anything that no longer serves the higher purpose that is now becoming clear. For many, this awakening can feel like a sudden download, an influx of information or understanding that comes with great clarity. It's as if the mind is suddenly switched on to a higher level of consciousness, and everything begins to make sense in a way that it never did before. This moment of awakening can be transformational, altering one's view of reality, self-identity, and the future. It's similar to how a light bulb turns on after being in the dark for a long time. There's no question of its sudden brilliance. Suddenly, the path ahead seems clear, and the future appears full of possibilities that were once unimaginable. These radical shifts often extend beyond the mental and emotional realms, touching on the physical and spiritual as well. As the hidden aspects of self are uncovered, there can be shifts in how the body feels, how energy moves through the system, and how the individual interacts with the world around them. It's as though the energy field is being upgraded, recalibrating to match the higher frequency of understanding and awareness. This is why some may feel intense surges of energy, vibrations, or even physical sensations of discomfort as their consciousness adjusts to the new influx of information. It's all part of the process of reclaiming and integrating what has been awakened. The detachment phenomenon Aquarius, as an air sign, operates on a completely different frequency from the emotional depth of water signs. While water signs like Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces dive deeply into the ocean of emotions, Aquarius tends to hover above, offering a bird's-eye view of the emotional landscape. This sense of detachment is not coldness or indifference, but rather a spiritual tool that allows for clarity, perspective, and freedom. In essence, Aquarius teaches us how to step back from the entanglements of emotional attachments so we can view situations from a higher vantage point. It's like being on a mountaintop, observing a sprawling city below, where everything is in motion, but you remain still and unaffected, able to see the bigger picture. For some, this shift can lead to an overwhelming sense of emotional numbness. The emotions that once felt so real and intense may now seem distant or muted, as though they are happening to someone else, not to you. It might feel like you're watching a movie of your life rather than actively participating in it. You may find yourself detached from old emotional triggers, not because you've lost your capacity for feeling, but because your energy is no longer wrapped up in them. It's as if you've been given a pair of glasses that allow you to see through the emotional fog, cutting through the clouded layers of feeling to offer you a sense of mental clarity. This detachment is often mistaken for a loss of emotional connection, but it is, in fact, a recalibration, a way of processing emotions from a place of stillness rather than chaos. This sense of emotional distance might also cause some to feel an urge to disconnect from attachments, whether it's to people, places, or even old ideas and dreams. The familiar bonds that once provided comfort and security might now feel like weights, dragging you down and preventing you from moving forward. It's like carrying around a heavy suitcase that you no longer need. Suddenly, the urge to set it down becomes overwhelming, even though the contents might once have felt important. This is not a rejection of love or intimacy, but rather a spiritual cleansing. Aquarius calls for shedding anything that no longer serves your higher purpose, creating space for the new energies and opportunities that are coming into your life. What may seem like a loss of connection is, in reality, a liberation. It is the breaking free from attachments that bind you to the past or to certain patterns of behavior that no longer serve your growth. It's like standing in the middle of a field and feeling the wind sweep through, clearing away the old leaves and debris, making room for fresh growth. In the same way, Aquarius helps you free up emotional space so that you can experience life in its more expansive form. Without the weight of old emotional entanglements, you can begin to move more freely, allowing new energies to flow through you. This feeling of liberation is empowering because it removes the obstacles that have been holding you back, giving you the opportunity to evolve in ways that were once unimaginable. This process of detachment is also a vital tool in aligning with the higher energies that Aquarius brings. When we are emotionally attached to things, people, or outcomes, we often cloud our ability to receive higher guidance or to see the world as it truly is. Attachments create a fog that distorts our perceptions, much like looking through a dirty window. Detaching allows the window to be cleaned, offering a clearer view of reality. Aquarius helps us understand that true connection is not about clinging or holding on to what is familiar, but about being able to release with love and trust in the natural flow of life. It's about letting go of the need for control and allowing the universe to unfold in its own time. Sometimes this detachment feels uncomfortable, especially if you are someone who has been used to deep emotional connections. It might feel like a gap opening up between you and the people you once felt close to, or a sense of emptiness where there once was emotional richness. However, this space is not something to fear. It is the fertile ground in which new emotional connections can grow, connections that are based on higher alignment, deeper understanding, and mutual growth. Much like a tree that sheds its leaves to make room for new growth, detachment creates the space needed for something new to emerge, something that better reflects your true self and your current path. The emotional disconnect that some may experience under the influence of Aquarius is not about abandoning emotions entirely. Rather, it is about recalibrating the way emotions are experienced and processed. Think of it as tuning an instrument. The instrument is still there, but the strings are tightened to create a more harmonious sound. This shift in emotional processing allows for greater clarity in relationships, decision-making, and self-awareness. It enables individuals to feel more centered, more present in the moment, without being overwhelmed by the constant flux of emotional tides. Ultimately, Aquarius brings a message of balance, balancing emotional depth with intellectual clarity, grounding with spiritual awareness. Detachment is not an act of withdrawing from life, but an invitation to experience life more fully, without the distractions of unnecessary emotional baggage. By letting go of the need for constant emotional validation or attachment to certain outcomes, Aquarius encourages us to open up to higher frequencies of love, connection, and growth. The emotional freedom that comes with this detachment is transformative, paving the way for a deeper connection to self, to others, and to the universe itself. The unknown element. Every Aquarian season brings its own unique cosmic energy, like a particular flavor added to a dish that makes each version distinct from the last. While the fundamental nature of Aquarius remains the same, innovative, detached, and future-oriented, The celestial backdrop against which it unfolds can change the overall tone of the season. This year's Aquarian season is different because certain celestial factors are aligning in ways that heighten the energy of the shift, giving it a stronger and more transformative influence. These subtle, often unseen forces act like the wind beneath the wings of Aquarius, pushing the energy in new, unexpected directions. One of the most intriguing aspects of this time is the influence of fixed stars, which can act as cosmic beacons, illuminating the path ahead. Fixed stars are considered to be steady, unchanging points in the sky, different from planets that move through various signs. These stars serve as markers of spiritual significance, and when activated by planetary movements, they can amplify certain energies. Imagine these stars as lighthouse beacons, casting their steady glow across the darkness of the cosmos. In the case of this Aquarian season, the alignment of certain fixed stars with key planetary aspects may shine a light on areas of life that have been hidden in shadow. These stars are not just background decoration in the sky, they are potent players that influence our actions and awaken our awareness. Additionally, the positioning of planets during this time adds another layer of complexity. Each planet governs a different aspect of life, and their relationship to each other creates an energetic web that influences our daily experiences. In some years, these planetary aspects may seem to work together harmoniously, but in other years, they may create more tension, forcing us to confront challenges or make difficult decisions. The alignment during this Aquarian season seems to be particularly significant, perhaps setting off karmic cycles or opening doors to new possibilities. Like instruments in an orchestra, the planets are playing their parts, and their interactions during this season create a melody that will be felt on a deep level, even if we cannot always see the exact patterns or forces at play. The celestial forces at work during this Aquarian shift are not always easy to perceive. They often operate in the background, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and actions in ways that we don't fully understand. These unseen energies are like the currents beneath the surface of an ocean. We may not see them directly, but their presence is undeniable. They push and pull us in different directions, shaping our experiences and sometimes even altering the course of events. It's as though we're walking down a path, unaware that the ground beneath us is shifting, creating new opportunities or challenges that weren't visible before. This unseen influence is not something to fear. Instead, it's an invitation to trust in the mysteries of the universe, knowing that we are being guided toward greater alignment with our true purpose. These hidden celestial influences can feel like a soft but persistent breeze, gradually shifting our direction over time. Sometimes, these forces may create a sense of urgency or clarity that can feel disorienting, especially if we are not accustomed to such subtle shifts. It's as though we are suddenly aware of something that has always been there but was invisible to our senses until now. This awareness may cause an inner sense of awakening, as if we are starting to see the world and ourselves in a new light, realizing that everything has been unfolding according to a plan that we could not fully comprehend. These celestial influences do not force change upon us. They create the conditions for transformation, allowing us to respond in ways that are aligned with our spiritual growth. As these forces continue to shape this shift, the layers of their influence will become more apparent. Initially, their effects may feel subtle, like the first hints of dawn breaking through the night sky. But as the Aquarian season progresses, these influences will become more visible, creating moments of insight or revelation that connect the dots between our current experiences and our higher purpose. It's like watching a puzzle slowly come together. At first, the pieces seem scattered and unrelated, but over time, they fit together in a way that reveals the bigger picture. These revelations might come in the form of synchronicities, intuitive downloads, or sudden realizations about the nature of reality and our place within it. What makes this particular Aquarian season so unique is the combination of these cosmic forces converging at just the right moment. It's as if a cosmic symphony is playing, with each element, each star, planet, and celestial influence contributing to a greater understanding of the universe and our role within it. These forces are not merely passive, they actively engage with us, challenging us to let go of old paradigms and embrace a more expansive view of reality. They serve as the winds of change, pushing us to evolve beyond the limits of our current understanding and enter into new realms of possibility. For many, this time may feel like being pulled into an entirely new orbit. The magnetic forces of the universe are recalibrating, nudging us toward higher consciousness and greater awareness. It's as though we are being guided by an unseen hand, leading us through the unknown and inviting us to trust in the process, even if we cannot see the full map of the journey ahead. These cosmic energies do not reveal themselves all at once, but they unfold gradually, creating a path of awakening that will become clearer with time. In the end, the rare celestial influences at play during this Aquarian season are like the hidden architects of our spiritual evolution. They shape the course of events in ways that may seem mysterious, but are ultimately aligned with our highest good. As we move through this shift, we may begin to see the design behind the changes, understanding how these unseen forces have been preparing us for the next phase of our journey. Just as the stars guide the way for travelers in the night, these celestial forces illuminate the path to deeper wisdom and transformation, even if we don't always fully understand the journey until we have traveled further down the road.